Right away when I hear the word bullying, I'm like, I think maybe somebody was physically hurt, but really, it's not.
There was a group of boys, actually, that started following me around.
I've made fun of people when I'm with my friends, I'm not gonna lie.
There's one kid who I think I teased pretty relentlessly for a while, just to get a laugh.
You can really hurt somebody, more so emotionally than physically. Physical wounds can heal, but the emotional ones are the ones that you remember.
The reason why I did that is pretty much for laughs, to make my group laugh.
I felt worthless. I felt like who I was, I shouldn't be.
That hurts the most, and girls will just keep going at it and they won't stop.
I think everyone bullies sometimes, whether they realize it or not.
Bullying people online is kind of like a new level of bullying, because now it's like, oh, school's over, and people used to be, I guess, would be like relieved, like I don't have to see that person for another day. And now they can be like, oh, you're online, like, hi, how are you? And then they can just start bullying them again.
I think it's also more serious because it's in your house, it's your computer.
Cyberbullying is old-fashioned bullying, i.e. picking on people with a modern twist, being done online, by email, by instant messaging, in message boards, in chat rooms. In terms of the scope, I dare say if you had hundreds of kids in a room and you asked them to raise their hand if they'd been cyberbullied, the vast majority, and studies have proven this, would raise their hand.
It made me feel even worse to be bullied online than in person. I was IMing people, and this one girl IM'd me, and she was with her other friend. They were making fun of me and saying bad things to me. I didn't know why. I tried to handle it myself by saying, please stop, and there's no point to this. I don't know why you're doing this to me. They also found out my password for a very old screen name, and they were IMing my friends and saying bad stuff to them like it was me. I tried to tell my friends that it wasn't me, and they weren't believing me. It made me feel terrible. I might have even lost the friends that I already had.
If you feel like you've been cyberbullied, this might sound counterintuitive, but resist the urge to fight back. Don't defend yourself, don't get someone to defend you, end the conversation. Show your parent or a teacher and then develop a strategy.
It kept on for a couple months, so I printed them out and I showed my mother. She was shocked and she showed them to school next day.
Printing and saving any evidence of cyberbullying is key because there are a lot of mechanisms to go back and trace that. Certainly if you're on an ISP like an AOL, there's a zero tolerance policy. That's a deal breaker because it violates the terms of service. A couple of things that fall under that. One, anything that intimidates someone else. Two, impersonating someone. Most cyberbullying falls under those two categories. And just as you would report spam, you would report it to your ISP, say, look, this screen name has consistently done X, Y, and Z. They look into it, they alert the screen name that their account has been suspended. It's that simple. If you are crossing lines that are threatening, are violent, or propose that you might take something online, offline, and it's a dangerous situation, keep in mind you could have police showing up at your door and you could have your ISP tipping off the police. A lot of accounts are suspended for these kinds of things, and there's a lot of tracking to make sure the same people don't switch up their screen name and begin this again.
First I tried to block them, but they kept on going on different screen names and doing the same thing.
Rather than try to block all of the bad guys, so often young people say, look, if I do this, they're just going to pick another screen name and start all over again, is to whitelist people. So say, okay, who are my real friends? Who do I really want to talk to? Make that list and then say these are the only people, adjust your mail controls, that I want to have be able to email or instant message me. Everybody else won't get through.